Aloha. Thank you, Chair Ige, Chair Luke, and distinguished members of both the Senate Ways and Means Committee, as well as the House Finance Committee members. It is an honor and privilege to stand before all of you on my sixth legislative session as mayor. And I would like to sincerely convey to all of you our appreciation and gratitude to have gone through probably some of the most challenging economic times that the state and the counties have ever faced in decades, and to overcome those significant and substantial economic challenges through cooperation, through collaboration, and through collective effort, and to have our communities a healthy, safe place for our families to call home, that our children are growing up with hope and opportunity and a belief and value in their dreams, that we continue to live in a special place we are all proud to call home. I want to say thank you very much. On behalf of the Hawaii Council of Mayors, my colleagues, Mayor Bernard Cavallo from Kauai, Mayor Alan Arakawa from the counties of Maui, representing the islands of Molokai, Lanai, and Maui, and Mayor Kirk Codwell from the city and county of Honolulu. We collectively represent the Hawaii Council of Mayors, and we appear before you today to respectfully request consideration for a couple simple bills, and also to put forward some of the issues and initiatives, requests for programs and services that are important, not just to our respective counties and constituents, but to the state of Hawaii as well. The Hawaii Council of Mayors meet regularly, and we try to work collectively to solve issues that impact all of our municipalities. And we appear before all of you recognizing and cognizant of the fact that county constituents and county residents are state constituents and state residents. We both share representation and responsibility for the exact same group of people. And when we meet, we try to share lessons learned. We try to share opportunities to overcome obstacles, hurdles, and barriers. And then we try to simplify and talk about what we can collectively agree on, because certainly issues are before each of our counties that we handle differently or address differently. But a couple issues that we've collectively agreed upon and submit for your consideration are two pieces of legislation. One is to extension of the beach liability provisions that will sunset on June 30th of this year. We believe it's a mutually beneficial arrangement where the counties enjoy the same liability, immunities, and protections as the state of Hawaii. And it impacts areas or state parks. For example, on the island of Hawaii, it'd be a Puna State Park, of which the counties provide lifeguard services. We believe it's a positive arrangement that benefits both the state and county, and we'd like to see that legislation continue. The second is the ability or opportunity flexibility to raise the general excise tax up to 1% in each of our counties. I know the state of Hawaii, the state legislature, both the Senate and House, has extended this opportunity to the counties. I'm not exactly sure, but might have been back in 2007 or 2005. And city and county took advantage of that opportunity, and the other counties respectfully declined. So we've been talking, and what we came to the conclusion was every year the counties come before the state legislature and make requests for additional sources of revenue, or to have additional tools in our toolbox to address difficult or challenging fiscal situations. For example, the counties of Hawaii, the only tool we have in our toolbox are property taxes. So we either raise property taxes, or there's no other opportunities to increase revenue. And in challenging economic times, of course, the transient accommodation tax is the second largest source of revenue to the counties. We'd like to respectfully request the flexibility to raise the general excise tax up to 1%. Not that we would raise it, but that each county would have the ability, the opportunity to increase that property tax. Currently, the city and county has a 0.5% general excise tax that is dedicated specifically to rail or infrastructure projects. We've talked about whether we want to restrict it to that or leave it open for flexibility, and we'd respectfully request consideration that the general excise tax be not restricted but be afforded to the counties up to 1%. We'd also like to say that we would respectfully want the general excise tax to be considered in addition to the transient accommodation tax and not in exchange for. The conjunctive and, not the disjunctive or. I just learned that word. I wanted to bust them out. But idea being otherwise it'd be a wash and not to have addition through subtraction. Is that a fair representation, fellow mayors? We'll also be going to Washington, D.C. next week to the United States Conference of Mayors. Once a year, the mayors go to Washington, D.C. We'll all be going to the White House to see President Obama and to advocate for municipal issues at the federal level. So that being said, to the island of Hawaii. Now, on a county level, we've been before this body in years past, and we've made absolutely no requests because we understood that the challenges facing the state were as significant, if not greater, than challenges facing the county. And we didn't want to shift the burden that we had at the county level onto the state. So in years past, I've actually come with requests, and Mayor Cavallo had none, so I had to act like I had none either. That's it, no. But this year, what we would be requesting of this distinguished bodies, both the Senate and House, is to support state-funded projects and state initiatives on the island of Hawaii. In areas of transportation, the fastest growing area in the state of Hawaii is the district of Puna. I think more people are moving into that district than anywhere else in the state of Hawaii. And one two-lane highway connects that fast-growing area to the employment and educational area of Hilo. So the traffic congestion is tremendous, and it's a state highway, 130. We'd ask the legislature to consider supporting that. Civil defense sirens, I know the administration and the state legislature have made upgrading our civil defense warning and alert system a priority. On an island, for example, of Hawaii, which is 4,028 square miles. And some people have asked, well, how big is that exactly? Larger than the state of Rhode Island and Delaware, same size as the state of Connecticut. So an early warning detection system effectively operating and well-maintained siren systems is critically important. And the money being asked for an upgrade and maintenance of the civil defense siren system is something we'd be respectfully requesting to strengthen our public safety system. Around our children and youth, the Hawaii Juvenile Justice Working Group last month issued a very compelling report talking about the challenges of cost of incarcerating our adolescents or youth in upwards in excess of $199,000 per youth per year. And we believe with early intervention and diversion programs that provide an entire spectrum of services to provide our youth with options and alternatives to incarceration would go a long way to compassionately and effectively addressing our future leaders of tomorrow and the challenges they face today. Around higher education, we'd ask that any support that this legislature can give to the University of Hawaii and higher education in the county of Hawaii is greatly appreciated. And people have asked me in the past, why the advocacy for higher education? And we say higher education is the great equalizer of our society. It gives every one of our kids, our students, our kamali'i on Hawaii Island a hope, dreams, and opportunity to better their lives of tomorrow. Because we know it's not where you start, but where you end up that matters. And higher education is an investment that benefits everyone. Also around healthcare, we know it's a national state issue, and it's also a local one as well. And we'd be respectfully requesting primary care physician support, the rural residency program. You know, we talk about having more physicians and increased recruitment, reimbursement, and retention. But studies have shown 80% of physicians, where they do the residency is where they usually practice. And if we can invest in rural residencies on Hawaii Island, we can have our physicians trained, live and work right here at home on Hawaii Island, which would tremendously increase the capacity and infrastructure in healthcare on Hawaii Island. And finally, I know my colleagues, my distinguished colleagues, who I'm all very proud to work with and serve with, and who I've learned so much these past few years from. I want to give them an opportunity. So lastly, we ask the state to continue their commitment and investment into Kenoi International Airport improvements. We believe it's the second gateway into Hawaii. We still need to work with U.S. Customs and Border to continue to provide federal infrastructure and support. but that second gateway into Hawaii provides a tremendous opportunity for growth on Hawaii Island, lends itself to support of our largest employment sector, which is the hospitality and visitor industry, and allows Hawaii Island to grow in a very meaningful and strategic way. So finally, thank you, all of you, for the hard work that all of you have done to take our state of Hawaii that was in incredibly challenging, turbulent economic times and put it on sound financial footing. It's because of your hard work and your leadership that we stand where we are today, and look forward to your continued partnership, working together, and we stand ready to assist any and all of you in any way we can. Thank you very much. Mahalo and Happy New Year.
Okay, thank you. Members, questions for Mayor Kenoi?
Thank you very much. Mahalo, you guys.
Okay, thanks.
Any questions? We cool? Okay, thanks.
Well, I know you'll be around, so. Next we have Kirk.